And Deb's moving. All right, cool. Welcome to the Athletics and Activities breakout session. There are a few of us up here that are going to talk. Jason Wilkins, Athletic Director, myself, Krista Keogh, Activities Director, Bryn Thomas, Assistant Athletic Director, and then I'm going to have the gals introduce themselves. They're going to talk about our concussion protocols today and to wrap up the session. So really quickly, to those of you who are new to technology. There we go. Okay. All right, so for those of you that are new to CREET, I just want to do a quick overview of what our office in the activities world does. And just know that our office is a great just resource for you if you just have any questions. We're happy to answer those things. So the first thing is just kind of the communications hub for the school. We send out all of the notifications to students basically through like the Blackboard Connect system. We have the ability to contact students quickly. We send Friday week-at CREET newsletters to the parents. We do the PTCO blast quarterly, and we also do social media, the video, the screens that you see throughout campus. So if at any time you're needing to get information out, my office is the place to go to. ID replacement for both adults and students. If your ID gets lost or broken, feel free to just stop by the office. We'll print you a new one. If students lose them, they do have to come and they do have to pay a fee to replace their IDs. On that note, it is important that this week you go and get your ID picture taken. You can go to the West Cafeteria from 8 to 2 today, tomorrow, and Thursday to get your photo taken. You'll go to the table, they'll give you a slip of paper that has your name and your department on it. Please just double check that that looks right for you, and then get your photo taken. I really prefer that you do it through Life Touch rather than just coming in my office, because the ones we take in my office are literally like kind of like mug shots up against the blue wall. They're not good. And so we'd like to get a good photo of everybody for the staff composite and for the website. So please do that this week. If you don't get it done by Thursday, the only other time you can do it is Monday before school, starting at 7:30, also in the West.
You guys can cut line.
Yeah, cut line. So you can get your little slip of paper and then just get in front of the kiddos that are waiting. Free and reduced lunch. I'm not in charge of free and reduced lunch. The district manages that, but they are not allowed to disclose to us who has free and reduced lunch benefits. And so we really rely upon counselors and teachers who know the kids well to help the kids navigate this. If students, need free and reduced lunch, we can get them the form that they need. But then if they do have free and reduced lunch, we have a form in our office that basically gives us permission. It's a waiver that the parents sign giving us permission so that we can get the documentation saying that they are in fact on free and reduced lunch. And then we give them a list of all of the benefits, they can receive as a result of that, such as reduced costs for yearbook, free dance tickets, reduced costs for AP exams, materials if they need it through the bookstore. So we have a lot of different things. Last year, I couldn't believe the number of seniors that came in with maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks left in their senior year saying, I'm on free and reduced lunch, but I haven't paid for my cap and gown. Is there anything I can do for that? Well, we waive that fee for cap and gown for our free and reduced lunch kids, but they have gone all 3 or 4 years of being here without having known that they could have gotten some other help. So if you feel like you've got a kiddo that needs some assistance in that area, just let us know and we'll help them figure that all out. Clubs. Okay, so trivia.
Wait, Krista?
Yeah.
So is that the little symbol in our school that has a dollar sign? Is that?
No, that means that they owe a fine.
Oh.
So we cannot identify, yeah, that means they owe money. Okay. In Power School, we are not allowed to identify those students at all.
Okay.
So we get that waiver signed, and then we have an internal Google Doc that is shared among the offices that supply things for these kiddos, so that we can look them up and say, yes, they're free and reduced lunch, and this is what we'll get. So yeah, there's no way in Power School to know that. They have to self-identify. Okay, so trivia, based on this ever-changing list of clubs at Cherry Creek, how many current clubs do we have listed as extracurricular activities at Cherry Creek High School? Oh my gosh, that is so close.
You get an award for that.
Yes, 98. That's the best first guess we've had all day. Earlier, somebody was like 224, and I'm like, oh no, thank goodness. No. All right, 98 is how many are currently listed. It's kind of a changing document because we do have kids that graduate, and sometimes the clubs go with them when they leave. But we are always looking for club sponsors. Kids, we will in any given year start 5 to 10 new clubs, and the kids are always looking for sponsors. I know right now that we are looking for a chess club sponsor, although Jason Wilkins is heavily in the running for that. Chess club. Amnesty International. I know that Kim Schumann-Smith is always looking for help with Plant Lovers Club. I know a few of you in here have also helped her with that, but she's always looking for some extra hands. Gardening. And then the other one I wanted to mention is our TSA. There has to be a CTE certification along with that, so if any of you are running for that, I know a few of you have planned or have worked with that group before, but I know it's a group that we can probably use some more help with. TSA is Technology Student Association. Sorry. It's like what used to be. So it used to be our tech club. It was just tech club when Jocelyn was here, because at that time she didn't have the CCH certification last year. We did TSA, we switched over, and so if any of you guys are looking to get involved in that, come see me, although I probably am not the best name out. But, so lots of opportunities to get involved, and I'm going to send out an updated list of all clubs that are needing sponsors here in the next few days. I think Cooking Club is looking to get started back up again, and they are going to be in need of a sponsor. So anyway, those are some things that are out there right now. Sources of Strength is our suicide prevention program that is really more about building strengths and resilience in students. We're going to talk more about that during the advisory period tomorrow, the advisory meeting tomorrow. Dances and Spirit Weeks, we sell dance tickets, we do Power Week and Homecoming. Facilities requests, if you need to request the use of this facility outside of your classroom hours, or even if you need to get Shilling Law or the community rooms, we have a scheduler that does that. Candace is the expert in that area, so you can contact her. Graduation and senior awards, you'll start hearing from me if you're new. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be asking you for your height, what degree you have, because we all wear gowns at graduation, so I'll be collecting that. And then back to school night. One quick note about that is that we are going to start it earlier this year at 6 o'clock. For a couple of reasons, but the main one being we are going to build advisory into back to school night so that you can meet your students' families. And so we're going to start at 6 o'clock. That schedule will come out to you this week. Get here early. We have a football scrimmage happening from 4 to 5:30 at Stutler Bowl. The band is going to be selling food, so make an evening out of it. Don't deal with traffic or parking. Go see some football, go grab some food, and then we will get started at 6. And then finally, for those of you that are new, I just want to say that the purpose of Back to School Night is really academic, is around academics and expectations. If parents are trying to kind of have one-on-one parent conferences with you that evening, say, thanks, I'm really glad you're here. Let's figure out another time to talk because it's a really quick, fast-moving night. And so just know that you can say that with parents. Last updates from me. Announcements are going to be during first period on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That extra time is still we didn't change the schedule from last year for the Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays. So that time is still built into the first period class. And then we will still do the pledge every day, like we always have. And then again, don't forget to get your ID this week. If you miss that opportunity, come to my office. Eligibility, I'm bringing up along with Jason, because it's important to both of us. I have CHASA sanctioned activities such as speech and debate, marching band, my student leadership kits, that we still hold to academic eligibility standards. And he's going to talk briefly about the changes in that in the next couple minutes. And it's definitely an easier process, but just if you would please make sure that you're getting that updated weekly. And he's going to, again, talk about how simple that will be. For those of you that are my club sponsors that travel with kids, we have this year I have a pretty specific eligibility system where 3 weeks out we're going to look at eligibility, have conversations with kids if they're getting ready to travel or if they're getting ready to compete, DECA, choirs, bands, things like that, where we're going to be talking with them about eligibility as well. So I'm going to let you tell them.
Okay, so we have tried to simplify things. The eligibility system has been in place, has been there. It was like that when I started 16 years ago. And in the middle of that, we switched computer systems because the citizenship column used to be on the same page right next to the grade. Now you got to go into a whole different screen. For those of you who've been around, you probably remember that. The newer ones don't know that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something really crazy. We're just going to use their grade. Okay, we're just going to use grades. So they've always used like the citizenship column. You got to mark U or R or E or F or W or Z or whatever it is, right? And then we're calling you. You don't know what the thing is, and the kid says, "Well, I think I got an R, and I don't know if I have a U." And then we're calling you. Sometimes a lot of people are going on Fridays. They could be up on ski slopes. I'm calling you. You're like, "Hold on, let me get to the bottom. I need to get an email," that kind of thing. We're doing it all that. We're running it on Tuesday. Okay, we're going to run it on Tuesday. They have until Thursday now. It used to be the Thursday, Friday deal. And it was a mad scramble. I'll be honest with you, it was a mess. And so now they have 2 days to work with you. And all we're doing is using the grade. So whatever you're doing with them with their grade, whether you're giving them extra credit, you're putting assignments in, not putting assignments in, whatever you choose to do is your deal. We run it with the grade. They have till Thursday. The only way you can update their grade is by sending me an email. We don't take notes because of all the forgery and everything else we've dealt with throughout years. So you'll send a note or an email, and then we have to put that in the CHASA system now for the first time this year. We plan at high school, so we have to run it through ours, which takes 2 hours to do it. Then we have to input it all into theirs. And then Thursday, when we get emails changing, then we have to update those on Friday for the CHASA system so that they can monitor what we're doing, which is very exciting. So,
This is our fourth time we're getting touchy.
so any questions on that? The idea is it's very simple. Now, here, let's do the eligibility rules, right? If you have 7 classes, if you have 6 D's and an F, theoretically you're good, right? You can play. If you've got some problems going on, if I'm a parent, I'm probably holding you out. But by district rules, that's not us, that's a district rule, and we tell our coaches you cannot adjust those. You have to follow them because when we change, we've done this before, coach is like, "Oh, they must have 3.0 or higher." And then the kid doesn't, and then they go to the district tells us, "What are you doing? You guys are idiots." And we come back and we go back to the rules because they're printed. So we got to go by that. Okay? Questions on it? Yes?
Is it up to the kid to let me know as a teacher that they're making up work for eligibility and that they want me to?
I would say the answer to that is a big no, because I would let the kid tell you anything. It's up to the kid to have a conversation with you to say, "I'm failing." Because that's good. Let me back up even further. The reason we run it at 12 on Tuesday is so we can print it and get it to the coaches by 2:30, so that theoretically via email or picking up a hard copy in the mailbox, they can then have the conversation with the kid before practice and say, "Just look at your grades, you got 6 Fs, okay? Or whatever the story is, right? You got to get these fixed, or we're going to have a meeting after practice, or whatever it is." Then the kid, they tell them all this at the beginning of season 2. The kids should theoretically then come to you and say, "I got 58, but you put in a 0 because I missed this. Is there something I can do to get that done? I don't know." Right? And then they work with you to do that. You're under no obligation to help them or fix them in that time frame. because they're in a pinch. It doesn't mean you're in a pinch, they're in a pinch. Now, you can use that as leverage to get them to come in for extra help or whatever you want to do. That's your problem. All we're doing is using the grade.
I'm just thinking if they come to me and say, hey, I need to get my grade up and all this, I may not know that that's because of eligibility. I may not know that on Thursday.
Sure, and you may not. And just so you do know, we do have all the sports in Power School. So you can click on a kid, see his special activities, what's it called, special activities?
Special programs.
Special programs, and it lists everything they're enrolled in. So if little Johnny comes in, or you're like, little Johnny's sitting up for 3 straight weeks and hasn't said anything, you can click on that and you go, little Johnny's on the whatever team. Hey, you've been playing? You know, you can see their other grades, and if, you know, if they only have 1 F, and it's just your class, then hey, it's still been playing. So they're not concerned. Sure. Carl?
Real quick, you just said whatever up there, it will turn grades in, but you're just gonna pull grades, right?
Yeah, you don't
I
really.
don't have to do anything to turn grades.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna have to put them in the
You
system.
come in to Power
I
School.
need to keep them up to date. but I don't have to
Okay, we're gonna send a reminder email on Tuesday, like, hey, remember today, we're running on at 12.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember in the classroom teaching, most of the time, I would try to get my stuff in by Friday for my grades. Maybe I did something over the weekend, maybe I wouldn't, but I don't know that you necessarily have to get all that stuff in for them on Tuesday.
Right.
That's up to you.
When does eligibility start?
Great question, that was my next topic. I love it, thinking ahead. So week 2, we run what we call the trial period, okay? And so our coaches get their first, and we have 174 coaches, just so you know that. So we get the coaches first look at everybody's grades, trial week. In week 2, what do they have in it, Bill? Maybe an assignment or 2, maybe the parent signature sheet, who knows, right? Week 3, we run it for real. So week 2 is, hey, little Johnny, you got 4 Fs and you're in week 2 of school, things aren't going well for you. We need to change that course around real quick. Okay, week 3, it's live. And then we start holding them out. The other key ingredient is when we do that, and we run it on Tuesday, they don't have any adjustments, Thursday they're just SOL, well, it's for the following Monday through Saturday. Following Monday through Saturday. Theoretically, they could come to you and say, I'm going to be ineligible if we don't get this. You're like, well, you don't have any chance. You have 38%. Right? You're not getting that up in 2 days. It's not happening. They may play Friday or Saturday. And you're like, why are they playing? Well, they were eligible the week before. So it's for following. Okay? Yes, David.
Is there a way as a coach for me to see all my kids' grades and students who are on my team?
Yeah. You print that and send that every week to the head coach. Their responsibility is to share it with the assistant coaches.
And that has everything on that?
Well, we don't do every kid, no. We don't run every kid. We run for Ds and Fs.
Right, okay, so I just see those.
Because if we did every grade for every kid, it changes the amount of time that goes in significantly. Now, if you want to inquire about kids in your team, things like that, we're happy to come down and we can print it for you once, twice. If we try to do that every week for all the kids, it's a massive undertaking. It takes 2 hours to just get D's and F's, and guys, quite frankly, we don't have that many kids getting D's and F's. We really don't. Last year, our varsity GPA average was 3.58. 26.358 average. That's not D's and F's. So we have 26 programs. We've added unified bowling this year as a pilot. Boys volleyball is a pilot this year. They're both sanctioned next year. Did we do the esports trivia already?
We did.
That's going to start as a pilot this year. I can't remember what we've done already. We're going to try to do the bowling out on Arapahoe Road if you want to get involved with that. That'll be really cool for Unified. And we're also, I believe Eagle Crest is going to host a district girls wrestling team right now because there's not enough participants to make one team. Kind of like we do for ice hockey at our school. All the schools come here. Gymnastics is like that. Eagle Crest, we've been sending our girl wrestlers to Eagle Crest already. They're going to continue to do so. Goal, we have last year we broke 2,200 kids that think will play sport. We don't have that many varsity spots. So a lot of kids are just out there having fun, making friends, staying in shape, learning life experiences, those kind of things. And that's really one of our functions of our coaching staff is to make sure, and we continued last year and the beginning of this year to put extra emphasis on if you wanted to rank all your kids and their athletic ability in your program, 1 through 86, is talking and looking out for 86 as much as you are for 1. Just all the different things going on with mental health and everything else. The problem is, in athletics, it's competitive. the better kids play. Which gets tough when parents, you know, that I gotta be honest with you, the last couple of weeks, that's all my emails. My kid's not gonna get a chance, my kid's not, I don't know, I mean, we'll try to do everything we can, but better kids play, it's a competitive program, so that's tough. Spirit Night, August 30th, you do that in the courtyard by the pool, it's really cool. Band and plays and cheers and palms perform, and DECA is doing food trucks that night, and we will invite all the elementaries and middle schools to get a poster, they get invited to that night, and it's just fun, all the athletic teams set up tables. You should come to that and kick it off and see your kids, there's a ton of them there. It's really fun, then there's a football game at 7, and your ID gets you into all of our home contests and your family for free, if you didn't know that, as well as games against teams in our league, which is the Creek Schools, Mullen, and Arapahoe. So you get in free to those at the regular season games. So you can support anybody you want to come around. Kids that need help. Okay. If it's not grades, maybe it's behavior, maybe it's other things. Let us know. Our coaches want to get involved and they want to help, but they don't know. And I got to be honest, there's a growing number of coaches not in the building. It's just the way it is. It's the trend. Okay. And if they're not educators, they don't always know. But you think about it in a different light. A lot of them are giving up their time, and they're in the private sector, and they're probably giving up money to come coach here, so they have a good heart. So they want to help, they want to be involved, but they don't know what they don't know, so let us know, and we'll get them involved. East Bay, I don't know if you know this, you go on their website, East Bay's Foot Locker, if you didn't know that, they send them, that's Foot Locker's the parent company, and you can get 40% off anything on their site. You run that through, we have a rep who'll order it for you, you pay money in bookkeeping, pick up your stuff, it's a great little deal. You can do that whenever you want. ID we talked about. Weight room, it's open to everybody. You just can't go in there when there's a class, okay? But before school, after school, weekends, later at night, go in there and use it. It's free. And then, this is the most important thing we'll talk about today. We're going to try to do pickup basketball for old people who aren't very good and still think they are. On Wednesday mornings, the idea is that no one's going to get hurt. And email Whitgrove, Craig Whitgrove, if you're on the postgrad, email him if you're interested. We're going to try to do that like 6:30 on Wednesday mornings and run around and exercise a little bit before the school day starts. So,
Brady, you want to talk about the weight room real quick?
Yeah, I am looking for a weight room supervisor, so this is someone that would, on various days, work in the weight room from 3:45 to 5. You get paid $30 a day, and basically you're supervising the off-season athletes or any kid that's making up a PE class, so you would sign their form that they have to give to their PE teacher. And I have rules and kind of what look-fors in the weight room. And so if you're interested, please email me.
you know, work out, little way as the easiest thing in the world. There's
Yeah.
like 15 to 20 kids in there.
Monday
Some days
through
there's
Thursday.
6.
Typically we do it by season, fall, winter, spring. But what I did last year is I just had a Google Doc for those that were interested, and I opened it like all at the same time and just told them all, here you go, here's the Google Doc, first come, first serve. And then when you needed a sub, we had like a list of people. There was like 4 regulars that were kind of switched between each other to make it happen all year long. So.
We're only doing Monday through Thursday.
Yep, Monday through Thursday, 3:45 to 5. Please email me if you're interested. I'm going to get that out this week.
Questions in athletics, anybody?
Is the pool available as well?
Great question. The answer is yes. Kind of no. And the reason for that is it's always used. It's used a lot. There's, what? Fall, it's open before school. There's only a couple classes. Like I'm going to try to find an open period this year and swim once or twice a week a little bit, you know, to kind of keep it going a little bit. But after school, it's booked some, but in the fall, it's open a little bit after school, right? What? After school?
Never after morning.
Never after school?
Not really.
It's booked a lot. That's why I was getting.
You guys, you have access, everybody has access to the facility scheduler. And you can look at the facility scheduler to see if there's something in the pool. Okay?
It's weird, you know, Amanda, that's worth the time, so for me. Sorry, that was gender matching. Concussions. Before I get to that, I want to introduce Sarah Black. She's gonna be an intern for the Mount Health team this year. Thank God, we need it, it's so awesome, and I wanted you to see her face because we are obviously at a time where we can't afford to send notes and hope that a kid shows up. We have to hold them from the classes frequently now, and so she's legit, she shows up here. So she's been an elementary school teacher in the district for years, and now is gonna be a school psychologist. She's 9 short months away from being a doctor, so that's awesome. So concussions, does everybody know what the Jake Snakenberg Act is? No, I'm saying it's the notes. So Jake Snakenberg was a student at Grandview who died from a second concussion in a football game. Second impact syndrome is only in people under the age of 24 when they get a second concussion and haven't fully recovered from the first concussion yet. And so that act was passed to make sure that we're monitoring concussions better in high schools and college sports, actually. The school psychologist at the time at Grandview was Karen McAvoy. We are fortunate enough to have her have her train most of us in the district. She has gone on to be a concussion expert that's internationally and nationally known. If you want to know more about concussions, she has a website called Get School on Concussions that she did in conjunction with the teachers, so it's specific to what teachers need to know and understand for concussions. But for our purposes here at Creek, you will get peppered with emails from me saying the student sustained concussion recently. This is what we're hoping you will do for them in terms of accommodations. That really varies department to department, and even class to class within those departments. I don't dictate to you what you should do in terms of a unit or a quiz or a test. That's really your judgment. If you need some guidance around that, I highly recommend talking to your department coordinator or other teachers in your department for what they've done, because I don't know their curriculum. Our biggest problem here at Creek isn't kids milking their concussions. We get 1 or 2 of them every year. Really, it's our overachieving kids that don't take the time and are so panicked at the work that's going to pile up if they take any time off, if they do too much and then take too long to recover. We'll have plenty of kids that will say, I'm fine, I can take the test today. They're really not. I would encourage you to use your judgment and be okay with them being irritated with you if you say, you know what, you just had this concussion 3 days ago, I don't think you're ready, I'd rather you didn't. I'd rather you do that than have a student come back and say, I didn't do well on that test, I shouldn't have taken it, I have a concussion. And then it's like, oh, crap, we did that. That's the worst part I'm going to use today. What else? As I said, so far you're good, I'm getting tired. Communication, again, the email. The hardest part with communication is letting you know when the student is ready to go, start really doing all their work. Athletes is a little easier because they're motivated to return to play, so they get that doctor clearance. Non-athletes, a lot of parents don't take them for that second visit. So one thing you will see in the language in an email might be that they're reporting 0 symptoms on the concussion scale that they can take from the nurses. So I'll say, they're reporting no symptoms at this time. I'm not going to say they're cleared. I'm not a real doctor. Really, that's language that MDs need to use. But if they're reporting no concussions, they should be doing all their work in your class.
And from the nursing side, we try our hardest to get the kids back into the clinic to actually get a full clearance. But sometimes parents are like, we're not going to do it. So we kind of do our best guess and make our best guess and work with parents and stuff. And communication, at least for new teachers, when a student's diagnosed with concussion, you should get an email from Lisa. 99% of the time you will. And the other way you'll be notified, or you can find out too, is that the little purple brain icon in Power School notes that they have an active concussion. If it's turned to gray, it means they have the kind of history of concussion. I just want to think that, my science friends. You guys.
So actually, Lisa, you pointed this out. The other thing you'll see here is a kid saying, I've been cleared to practice. Oh, but I can't take that test today. That it should be the other way around. They should, really, the protocol is an active recovery. The days of staying in a dark room for 2 weeks to recover are gone. If they should be actively doing some work of some kind. If they're at practice, it's worse for them to be doing physical activity. It's better for them to be doing activity. So that should not happen. Yeah.
The Power School alerts never go away. So what's the timeline when?
Powers, it turns to a gray.
2013. What's the?
So if it's purple, it's active.
Okay.
If it's gray, it's just that they've had a history of it.
Okay.
And you might be talking about the actual like little red caduceus, that medical symbol. If you hover over that, that's nurses' notes. And sometimes the number puts that they have a history of concussions, we'll put the dates that they've had them, and that's for us to know, but also for you to know too. If you have a kiddo and you look and you're like, this kid's had 4 concussions, the most recent one was just 2 months ago. Something doesn't seem right, like, you can bring that to our attention if you have concerns.
These are just some statistics. Jill Gasquire in the West Clinic is responsible for all this. I can't take credit. She's the reason we're organized. And so she tracks all of this, and you can see most of our concussions are CCHS related sports. Most of our kids are clearing within 11 to 20 days, but we have a ton that are still taking up to 45 days. And then by sport or by reason for concussion, days to clearance. If you want to peruse this more carefully, I can send it to you just now. Any
And
questions?
I think what you've also said, I don't know if you said this time, is just like some of our EP students just really push themselves, but also band.
Oh, yeah.
Our musical
Tim
kids
Hayward,
just
yeah.
really push themselves too, I've noticed, and they,
Yeah.
as you know, Adam.
Yeah, we've had some kids that, that's a status physical activity, and we have kids that are, that one kid that he goes in, what, 3? Yeah, so we've had some kids push themselves. But, you know, our biggest problem is kids don't want to stop. And it's not because they haven't been told. Parents get an email. I send a remind out text. I try to meet with the student in person. They get a lecture from the nurses when they go to the clinics to do symptom tests. They are getting the information that they need to be resting to do so that they'll recover. So this is pressure from them. Any questions?